The Insight Views. Danelo Cavalcante, the 14-day manhunt. In the early hours of the 31st of August, 2023, Chester County, Pennsylvania, awoke to shocking news. A convicted murderer, Danelo Cavalcante, had escaped from custody, leaving behind the prison that had held him for years. Known for his violent history, Cavalcante had been serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for the murder of his stepfather. But now, he was gone. The escape was daring and brazen. Reports indicated that Cavalcante had scaled not just one but two walls of the Chester County prison, using sheer strength and determination. Surveillance cameras caught fleeting glimpses of him as he moved with precision, evading guards and slipping into the dense forests surrounding the prison. Authorities immediately sounded the alarm, warning the public not to approach him. Cavalcante was considered armed and extremely dangerous. The news spread quickly. Media outlets across the nation began covering the story, describing the escape as audacious and highly organized. Social media exploded with updates, videos, and theories. Within hours, the manhunt was underway. Law enforcement agencies at every level from local police to state troopers and federal agents joined forces to track down the fugitive. Cavalcante was not just any criminal. At 32 years old, he had already committed a murder that shocked his community. In 2014, he had killed his stepfather, a crime that demonstrated both premeditation and extreme violence. Sentenced to life in prison, he was considered a high-risk inmate. Yet, despite the precautions, he had managed to escape. The audacity of the act left law enforcement questioning the prison's security protocols and the measures in place to contain dangerous offenders. The manhunt that followed was massive. Officers combed the forests surrounding Chester County, searching for any sign of the fugitive. Tracking dogs were deployed, helicopters scanned the area from above, and thermal imaging technology was used to detect heat signatures in the dense terrain. Every tip was followed, every lead investigated. Cavalcante's knowledge of the local area gave him an advantage. He had spent years living in Pennsylvania, familiar with the terrain and capable of moving quietly and efficiently through the wilderness. For 14 days, the search continued. Officers faced numerous challenges. The forests were thick and unforgiving. The terrain was rugged, making movement difficult and dangerous. Cavalcante had no need to resupply publicly, avoiding towns and populated areas to reduce the risk of being seen. His ability to survive in the woods, combined with his determination to remain free, turned the manhunt into a tense, exhausting operation. During those 14 days, the story of Danelo Cavalcante captured the nation's attention. News coverage was relentless. Reports of sightings, both credible and false, circulated widely. Residents were urged to stay indoors, to be vigilant, and to report any suspicious activity. The situation highlighted the fear and uncertainty that can grip a community when a dangerous individual is on the run. Authorities described Cavalcante as highly dangerous. His history of violence made any encounter potentially lethal. Police warned the public repeatedly not to attempt an approach. For law enforcement officers, the manhunt was a test of skill, coordination, and endurance. Teams worked around the clock, often in grueling conditions, with the weight of public safety pressing heavily on their shoulders. Finally, after 2 weeks, the fugitive's freedom came to an end. Cavalcante was tracked to a wooded area, where search dogs identified his location. Officers moved in, apprehending him without incident. The capture was described by authorities as a testament to perseverance, coordination, and careful planning. For the men and women involved in the manhunt, it was a moment of relief after days of relentless effort. The public reaction was immediate. Relief mingled with disbelief. Social media was flooded with messages expressing gratitude for the officers' efforts and astonishment at the story of Cavalcante's escape. Communities reflected on the tension and fear of the previous 2 weeks, recognizing the danger posed by individuals capable of such audacious acts. The case prompted discussions about prison security, law enforcement readiness, and the challenges of containing violent offenders. Cavalcante returned to custody, this time under heightened security measures. Officials assured the public that lessons had been learned and that preventive measures would be strengthened to prevent a repeat incident. The escape prompted a review of prison protocols nationwide, with authorities examining how a dangerous inmate had managed to exploit weaknesses and evade capture for 14 days. Experts noted that while escapes of this magnitude are rare, they serve as reminders of the risks inherent in managing violent criminals. The case of Danelo Cavalcante illustrated the need for constant vigilance, thorough security protocols, and rapid coordination between law enforcement agencies. It also underscored the potential dangers that communities face when dangerous individuals slip through the cracks. Throughout the manhunt, law enforcement showed remarkable persistence. Despite the challenges of rugged terrain, dense forests, and the fugitives' attempts to evade capture, officers worked tirelessly, day and night. Coordination between local, state, and federal agencies ensured that every lead was followed and every potential hiding place searched. The eventual capture was the culmination of this effort, a combination of strategy, technology, and human determination. The story of Danelo Cavalcante did not end with his capture. It sparked conversations across the nation about criminal justice, prison management, and public safety. Analysts debated what could have been done differently, while experts examined the protocols for handling high-risk inmates. Families affected by violent crime reflected on the consequences of such acts, and communities re-evaluated their trust in the systems meant to protect them. Cavalcante's escape and subsequent capture also highlighted the human element of law enforcement. Officers involved in the search faced long hours, physically demanding conditions, and the emotional stress of knowing a dangerous individual was at large. Their dedication ensured that the public remained safe and that justice was ultimately upheld. The case also drew attention to the resilience and adaptability of individuals like Cavalcante. His ability to plan, execute, and survive during his escape demonstrated a level of determination that made the manhunt both challenging and compelling. It was a stark reminder that law enforcement must always anticipate the unexpected and be prepared for scenarios that test both skill and resolve. In the aftermath, Chester County Prison implemented new security measures to prevent future escapes. Officials reviewed every aspect of inmate management, from surveillance systems to perimeter security. The lessons learned from this case contributed to broader discussions about safety and security in correctional facilities across the country. The story of Danelo Cavalcante is a testament to the extremes of human behavior, the lengths to which some will go to defy confinement, and the persistence of those tasked with upholding the law. It is a story of crime, escape, danger, and the tireless pursuit of justice. The Insight Views. Sharper focus. Deeper insight. Uncovering stories, revealing truths. Turning headlines into understanding.